Hey, you want to know a little secret on how to get cheaper disc? Well, stay tuned to find out. So welcome back to Poor Boy Disc Golf, and today I'm going to let you on a little secret that I use to get cheaper disc. Now if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video. So let's get into it, and I'm going to show you one of the techniques I use. Now let's say you're at a store or whatever, and you're wanting a new judge. Let's say it's this is a classic blend, but let's say it's a prime judge. I think I got one here. Here we go. A prime judge. Let's say you want this. Let's say on the shelf, brand new, it's $10. You think, well, that's a good price. It's brand new. But I've got a way where you can get it cheaper. Now here's the secret. A lot of your disc stores, like the one I use, they host sponsors. Like they're the sponsor to a tournament. A lot of the stores around here do. The Play It Again Sports, usually they sponsor ones. They have the discs too. I've bought many of tournament stamp disc at Play It Again. I've bought them at regular stores. I've bought them, just off people too. But here's the thing. Usually if a tournament director sells, like he has the tournament and he's got some discs left over, he'll sell them for a little bit more money to recoup some of the losses. So that's why a lot of these get up cheap. Now I have seen a few guys, they will buy them from the tournament directors and then resell them. They'll strip the disc and wipe the stamps and then dye them and then sell them, which that's kind of what I do every now and then whenever I find them. But we'll get back to how cheap they are. So you take a brand new disc. Let's say it's $10. $10. Well, I could buy the same stamp or the same disc that's a tournament stamp where it has just the design on it and that's it. And I might be able to pick it up for, let's say, $5, $6, maybe $7 on the high side. So that's where I'm talking about. Now the pros and cons of these, you might want to go ahead and just buy new, But if you don't care about the front stamp and you just want the disc, maybe this is an option for you. So basically the con of buying a tournament stamp disc would be you're not going to know what it is unless it's printed on the back. And most of them are printed on the back, or they have like the little scribble of what it is on towards the middle and the weight. That's the way Innova and a bunch of the other companies. Now Dynamic Disc, well, Trilogy, they print theirs on it. It's usually on it. It says Dynamic Disc and it'll say a judge on it. So that's one of the cons, is you might not know what the disc is all the time. But if you buy it just for the simple purpose of using it, and you know that this is going to be your putter, say for instance, you'll know where that's at all the time. So that's kind of a con. Another con is the sometimes they are used. People will play the tournament, have their player pack, and then sell it back to the store. It happens. During the Trilogy Challenge, people were buying each other's discs. They were selling them back to the store. Some people just don't like them. Sometimes you might get a judge, and I don't throw a judge. I throw an Innova, Avier, and I don't want that. I'm going to sell it back. Well, then somebody like me comes along and says, hey, that's cheap. I'm going to get that. So that's one of the kind of pro and cons. Another kind of pro-con is sometimes it's an exclusive stamp to a tournament that only happens once a year, and they change the design of it every year. So it's kind of like, taking for instance, I know that there's a few tournaments where the disc was like really cool design, but that design will never be on that. So it's a collector's then. Or it might be like a team series or something. It might be something like that that's really expensive. You might want to hang on to, but yeah, it's cheap enough to go through. So that's kind of a pro con. Now, the pro for it would be they're cheaper. They're just cheaper. And they're usually got a stamp on it that you can wipe off with acetone, and then you could dye it yourself. I don't really like to dye these. Now, if it's in the fusion plastic or something like that, then yeah. Or it's in the little bit higher end plastic, like Champion plastic, yeah, I'll dye it. I'll wipe the stamp, I'll dye it, and we'll be good to go. And usually it makes it into my bag, or it'll make it where I sell it. But yeah, sometimes that's the way it is. But that's some of the pros and cons. If you're looking for a brand new disc, you might go over to that used section and look at the tournament stamped ones. You might find a brand new one for a little bit cheaper. And that way you can save your money for that new bag that you've been eyeing, or that Zuka cart that you really had your eye on for a while. You can start saving up for it. But hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And as always, this is Poor Boy reminding you, play the sport and grow the sport that is disc golf. Thanks for watching.